Let them know this is what you've worked for all these years. Joe Mazzulla hugging Drew Holiday as he comes out of the game. Jason's young son, Deuce, right behind the bench as well with 38 seconds to go in the game. 106-88 Boston. Derek White coming out of the game to a big ovation as well. And we just wind down the clock here at TD Garden. Peyton Pritchard, who authored a end of halftime three, sends it outside to Hauser for three, in and out. And now the shot clock is off and Dallas has it with 18 seconds to go. 106-88, Boston leading Dallas. They're all on their feet here at the Garden. The coaches shake hands, Joe Mazzulla and Jason Kidd. The final 4 seconds tick away. Get ready to raise an 18th banner, Boston. The Celtics are once again the winningest franchise in the history of the NBA. It's an 18th title for the Celtics, the 2024 NBA champions. The green and white confetti falling now as the Boston Celtics defeat the Dallas Mavericks in 5 games. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum finally have their championship. And PJ, light up a cigar for red. The Celtics are once again the world champs.
Well, so many people, Celtic believers, felt it was inevitable. A lot of other naysayers said, well, they played in the East. It's going to be a little bit different. These powerhouses coming out of the West. There was never any doubt throughout the playoffs, throughout this 16-3 run by the Boston Celtics, that they were for the entire year, and they are right now, the best basketball team in the NBA, and they are deservedly the NBA champions.
That was a great point you made at 16-3. The record books and the historians and the sports writers and sports talkers will all decide where this team stands in the history of the NBA. The one thing you said many times during this run, it's not Jason Tatum, it's not Jaylen Brown, it is a team, and it's both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. What Brad Stevens built this year was tremendous, and from night one to the ending night of the NBA season, the Boston Celtics were the best team by far in the NBA.
They were, and Kesty, you make a great point, because they were the best team on both ends. They were, however you want to rate them, 1, 2, 3 offense, 1, 2, 3 defense, all during the year, early, late, post-All-Star, all throughout the playoffs. They were a complete team. They rebound. They're an excellent passing team. They share the ball. He didn't go deep into his bench, Joe Mazzulla, but when he did, don't forget, KP was hurt for a lot. So they played 8 players all the time. Al Horford started tonight off that bench. You had Kristaps Porzingis. You had Peyton Pritchard. You had Sam Hauser. Again, every time that Joe Mazzulla made a move, it seemed to be the appropriate decision.
The stage is being built in front of us. We will have the ceremony for you. Lisa Salters of ABC will be handling that. We'll have a post-game interview for you with George Sedano momentarily. I could see Adam Silver, the commissioner. There was a moment there we couldn't see anything in here. It was a blizzard of green and white.
Large confetti.
Watching Jason Tatum hugging his son, his family, Al Horford holding his 2 kids, and his father, Tito, who is on every road trip, at every home game. And Joe Mazzulla, who's had such a history here. I know his dad passed and would have loved to have seen this moment. The Rhode Island kid who got the nod right before last season is an NBA championship head coach at age 35.
Yeah, just incredible. And Kessia, if you'll allow me to go one, Dallas, we talked about Jason Tatum leading in so many categories. Luka Doncic for the playoffs, number 1, points, rebounds, assists, steals, 3-point field goals, free throws, defensive rebounds, yes, turnovers, double-doubles, and triple-doubles. That is just one amazing performance. Second player ever to lead in points, rebounds, and assists. Nikola Jokic did it last year throughout the playoffs, but Luka threw in 5 or 6 other categories this year. An incredible individual performance by Luka Doncic.
The West is so competitive. You don't know if you're getting back, but you say this is a learning opportunity for Luka, just like Brown and Tatum 2 years ago had to learn the disappointment last year, knocked out in the 7th game of the Eastern Conference Finals after nearly rallying from down 3 games to none. But the Celtics came back with a vengeance this year. They won their first 5 games. They were 11-2 early, 20-5 after 25 games, 36-6. 48-12. We did a number of games where we said, This is great January 10th. This is great February 1st. It's all going to count in April, May, and June, and they get it done here tonight.
Yeah, and Kessie, I'm looking at the roster now. We talked about Al Horford is not a young guy, but I'll tell you what, that's a pretty good 17th season Mr. Horford just had. The only other player double-digit years is Drew Holiday, and Drew Holiday looks anything but like he's getting old. He's going to be heading to Paris with Jason Tatum to try and win his 2nd gold medal. This Boston Celtic team is not going away. We talked about Brad Stevens, the NBA Exec of the Year. Truly does not. He doesn't want the credit, but he doesn't get enough credit for the job he did putting this roster together.
Got these outstanding black T-shirts with gold lettering, 2024 NBA champion. The Larry O'Brien trophy is on those T-shirts. I just saw Larry O making his way up to the stage with his handler, as it's been a long wait here in Boston. 2008 to 2024, 16 years to the day since they beat the Lakers in a Game 7 rout. This was a Game 5. I'll call it a rout at 106-88. Boston with the win.
Christy, think about what you're saying. It's been 16 years for their 18th title. Other teams are going, what is he talking about? It's their 18th NBA championship.
Well, we're watching the scenes outside, and outside of Boston, flooded with folks along Causeway Street, as we check in now with George Sedano.